For our first story, we have I, 27 female, broke up with my boyfriend, 34 male, of 10 years today because he didn't get me anything for my birthday. How can we talk about this? For some context, me, 27 female, and my boyfriend, 34 male, we'll call him Joe, have been together for a little over 10 years. We were supposed to be getting engaged a couple of years ago, but it kept getting pushed back due to personal reasons on his part. I work and Joe does not, but he receives money from the government. He gets about $1,100 a month and I make a little over $2,000. Me and Joe have both been saving for the past 10 years to get married and start a family. This is a long one, so I'm sorry in advance. Joe's biggest hobby is gaming and collecting limited editions of games, statues and everything else like that. I would say in the past 10 years that I have been with him he has spent well over $40,000 plus on games and collectibles. He had this hobby when I met him and I never tried to change that. I was a little concerned what the future would look like, but Joe promised me that when it was time to have kids and get married he would sell everything except for a few things he really wanted to keep. I had no reason to doubt him. But in the last 4 years things have gotten really bad. Joe has a really big spending addiction and in the last 4 years has spent about $15,000 plus on his hobby. This year alone he has spent close to $5,000. Every time I mention the wedding or finally starting a family, I've been ready for years. He always says he wants us to be more financially stable. The problem is, he's blowing through his savings and is not slowing down. He keeps promising me after every big purchase that he will stop and this is the last time and he doesn't need anything else. But then a few weeks, a month later he buys something else really expensive. These last 2 months he's spent about $3,000. I've tried talking to him so many times and telling him how I feel and my worries. He tells me I'm completely right and it will stop. 3 weeks ago he bought a limited edition PlayStation that was $1,100, 4 limited controllers that were $350, 2 weeks later an Xbox Series 10 that was $333, and last night he came home with an 1800 TV that I knew nothing about until after. We got into a huge fight and I demanded that he take it back to the store to get his money back or I was finally done because he keeps breaking his promise to me. He told me he was not taking it back and if I wanted to leave then I should just leave. Today is my birthday and I have not heard from him. No happy birthday message at midnight, that I would normally receive when we're apart. And he told me he didn't get me any gifts because he couldn't find anything. I cried myself to sleep and I've spent the whole day in bed. My heart is broken. I feel like I've wasted the last 10 years on someone that was never really serious. He's proven to me I will never be his #1 priority. We're supposed to be starting a family and I feel that he's throwing it all away. I don't have time to waste anymore. I don't know if I'm making a mistake by leaving, but I've never been so unhappy and things don't seem to be changing. I don't know if I'm overly emotional because he didn't get me anything for my birthday or because he's constantly lying. Any advice is welcome, even if it's negative towards me. I need other people's perspectives. Thank you. That's the end of our first post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, systematically, he has not invested in you or your future together. And he has no plans to. This isn't about your birthday. This is about far more than that. He told you he wouldn't return his purchase and told you to go ahead and leave. Between you and the purchase, he chose the purchase. That's all you need to know. I know it feels like throwing 10 years away, but that doesn't mean you should throw away one single more day with this guy. Our second commenter says, he did get you a birthday gift, the final straw. Look ahead, you have plenty of life adventures to come. Our third commenter says, you broke up with your boyfriend of 10 years today because he is the exact same person you met 10 years ago and you have grown in the past 10 years. Creep factor aside, BC, this is Reddit and a lot of people will rightfully lay into you about that. How long do you have to ask for what you want and not get it before cutting your losses and moving on? You want kids, a family and have asked for years. He always has some bullshit answer. Some breakups are actually gifts from the universe. You're 27 girl. There is someone who is just waiting for you to float into their life. Some who wants to grow with you building the life you know you want that you know this predatory jackass you spent 10 years with will never give you. If he ain't done it yet, MFER never will. Feel the hurt, heal, then smell some fucking roses. For our second story, we have GF18 female made an ultimatum. Either I 19 male get her name tatted or we break up. What can I do? Hello everyone. Based on the title only you already know what I'm wondering about, and that is simply it, and I want advice on how to go about this situation. I've 19 male. Been with my GF 18 female for 8 months now, and recently she got a tattoo herself because she always wanted one. Recently she told me to get her name tatted, and initially I said no. Now I'm perfectly fine with getting tattoos and I plan on getting some myself when I save up enough. But the issue I have is because I personally think it's a bad idea to get your SO's name tatted because it's like the kiss of death thing. Along with I'm not really comfortable with getting one while dating. I'd rather wait until marriage, which then in my opinion getting her name would be a better time, which is what I told her. But it made her mad, which is where the ultimatum she made comes in. She gave me the deadline of December 8th to get it done or she's breaking up with me. I absolutely love this girl to bits and I want to have a future with her, and breaking up with her is something I want to avoid at all costs. But after this I don't know how to bring up my feelings again. I don't want to hurt her feelings or disappoint her about how I feel about getting her name. I know I need to talk about this, but how do I go about it? Thank you everyone. Side note. No, this isn't an update. I just wanted to talk about a few things since I can't like everyone's comments for being funny or giving good advice. First, thank you everyone for your united opinions on my situation. I've never seen this happen before, which is funny. Now for people saying she should get the tattoo first. I've asked that before and she said she'll get it after I get mine. So that answers that. Again, thank you everyone for your advice and for making me realize I was a fool for tolerating this, and that this is something I should never stand for or tolerate in a relationship. Thank you again, and I will give an update since that was asked too. Not sure when. That's the end of our second post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, she is literally valuing a tattoo more than your relationship. This is just manipulation city. Our second commenter says, she cares more about permanently marking you than she does about participating in a loving relationship with you. This should tell you everything you need to know about this girl. She's all image and she doesn't care about you. Our third commenter says, bro, she's not the one for you. That's fucked up. For our last story, we have a girl, 25 female, that ghosted me, 33 male, reached out to pay her back. How to respond? I, 33 male, met a girl online, 25 male, from the country I was visiting and staying in for about 2 months. We dated for about 6 months, spent about 2 months talking online, then spent 5 weeks together in her country and about 3 months after that long distance. She was just assembling paperwork for a visa to come and see me, and then she slipped off the face of the earth. I was busy working so didn't think much of it for a day or two, but as the time stretched I was getting antsy. After about 5 days I saw she deleted me from all apps and socials, so I reckoned that was that, and well, it was laughing face. I had her email but didn't see the point of messaging her considering it was very obvious she didn't want to talk to me, although of course I wanted to know what happened for her to do it. Have a theory or two. She was very avoidant when it comes to her feelings, so I didn't want to rush things, but I was feeling good about her coming and trying to see if we can make things more permanent. Fast forward 2 months and I got an email from her saying that her grandma is in a hospital and her mother had some health issues too, so she is asking for the money she spent while we were together. I couldn't get cash while I was there and we agreed to split half-half. Later, whenever I broached the subject of me paying her back, she kinda ignored it. She never said what happened or why she ghosted me, just said that she's sorry that she went no contact and that it was unfair, without any explanation. OFC, I reckon it's fair for me to pay her back, but I am somewhat appalled and kinda feeling victimized again for her getting in touch again and not feeling the need to spend a sentence explaining what happened. But then again, I guess if she was more in tune with other people's emotions she wouldn't ghost me to begin with. I am thinking on what and how to reply, and looking forward to seeing some advice at it. Some more info, if anyone is interested in amounts. She's from a third world country, I am from Europe. She is actually earning more than me, and the amount is about a third of her monthly salary. That's the end of our last post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, I mean, how much are we talking here? If you did truly rely on her for cash when there, you may feel obligated to reimburse her now. But absolutely do not under any impression that this is rekindling any relationship. Our second commenter says, hope you received the amount I owed you. Please don't contact me again. Thanks. Our third commenter says, You need to verify it's actually her before sending the money. It's odd that she emailed you instead of sending a text. She makes more than you, yet needs the money? Tell her to unblock you in video call, so you know it's her and not a scammer. What if it's not her and then she texts you 6 months later asking for the money? That's all for today. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.